Evelyn in Louisville.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm fine. I just recently abandoned the Christian faith, and
Did you know there's a very active Louisville Freethinkers group?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you know that there's a very active Louisville Freethinkers group?
No, but I need that information.
You should check them out. They're on Facebook. I believe they're Louisville Freethinkers or something obvious like that.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to ask if you guys have ever dealt with full preterists.
With what?
Full preterists?
I'm
not familiar with that.
No idea.
Okay, I've kind of evolved in my thinking and my growth and everything, and full preterism was the last stance that I had before atheism. And it's where they believe that the end times occurred within the first century.
Okay. What does that mean? Because I don't remember everybody dying in a fireball at that point. So what do they mean by end times?
They believe that, and this is part of something that still kind of gets me, but they believe that a lot of it is a metaphoric apocalyptic language.
Okay.
And the thing that bothers me the most, the reason that I came away from the Christian faith is because it goes completely, the God of the Bible goes completely against my own moral standard.
Absolutely. I think that's that's true of any thinking person.
At the same time, I am kind of perplexed by Christ prophesying that the stones would fall from the temple and that it occurred within that generation.
What? Do you have the specific prophecy on hand?
It's in Matthew 24.
Okay. What does it say?
It says, "Not one stone will be left upon another."
Well, that's pretty vague. I mean, you know, that could happen at any time.
Well, further down in the context, it talks about it would be that generation.
Okay. So
I mean, the thing is I just wanted to know if you guys have ever talked or kind of debated with a full preterist, because even though I think it's all a bunch of crap, to be honest with you, I still think that if the majority of Christians held that position, they would have a little bit more validity.
I doubt it. I mean, you know, I haven't really read very much about what you're saying, but I can tell you that a lot of Christians will, you know, go very far to count the hits and ignore the misses. You know, if something happened within, you know, within less than a century, they will claim to be amazed by that and say, "What an amazing prophecy." But then there are other Christians who will take other parts of the Bible and claim to be equally amazed at something that happened 1,500 years later and vaguely sounds the same as something Jesus said back then. And if they find something that Jesus said that hasn't happened yet, they'll just say, well, you know, that's still to come true. So I don't put that much stock in when they manage to cherry pick one individual thing they said that sounds a lot like something that happened some unspecified amount of time later. Because I mean, you know, I
think they have. I'm sorry.
Every year there are so-called psychics who make hundreds of predictions about what's going to happen in the coming year. Some of them come true just by virtue of the fact that nobody is ever really 100% wrong in making stuff up.
Yeah, and really within my thought, even if it does have a little bit more validity in my view, I still see that there still could be an explanation for it, because there could be a possibly that they wanted to start controversy and civil war within the groups. But anyways, that's a whole
Okay.
that's going way beyond what you guys probably have time to talk about and everything.
Yeah, I think that you shouldn't necessarily feel like you have to find an explanation for the fact that somebody said something and it happened later. I mean, you know, a lot of times that is just, well, that was a lucky guess. It doesn't always need a much deeper explanation than that.
Well, and as far as the preterist goes, I'm not real familiar with that, but it does sound a lot like what Russell was talking about earlier about Harold Camping saying, well, the world did come to an end. It was just a spiritual ending. You know, the end times occurred in the 1st century, but apparently we didn't notice. Or so to me, it sounds a lot like, well, we have to come up with some way of explaining this contradiction. So
yeah, they have the view that it's a covenantal end.
Okay.
Okay. So,
well, we're almost out of time. So,
okay.
But do check out Louisville Atheists and Freethinkers at louisvilleatheist.com.
Okay, thank you.
All right, see ya.
thanks, Evelyn.